Me too. Heavenly Father, please help us to make the right decisions for the people of this county. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, call order. I guess I did that kind of wrong order. That's all right. Roll call, please.
Brumman.
Here.
Small.
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
Brady.
Here.
Gothier.
Here. I'll accept the motion to approve the minutes from April 7th.
So moved.
Support. Moved and supported. Oh, what's the new rules? Do we have to roll call everything now, or?
I don't think so,
Okay, good.
because we would not be allowed to have one of us not here.
All right,
You
very
couldn't
good.
vote if you weren't here. If you were on Zoom, you could not vote,
Really?
because we never declared a state of emergency.
That's
So we
now.
can't follow the state of emergency rules that are in place until December 31st, 2021.
Okay.
But I never saw the need to do that, so.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor?
I,
All opposed? Motion carries. Public comment limited to 3 minutes per person. Please identify yourself. Do we have any public comment from the general internet?
Yeah, I wanted to speak just for a few minutes.
Your name and where you're from.
Yep, my name is Michelle Luttrell. I'm the community nutrition instructor with MSU Extension. I cover Iosco and Alcona counties. So I teach nutrition education to youth all the way up to seniors that are eligible for food assistance benefits. And my work is funded by SNAP-Ed with a grant through the USDA. So with the pandemic over the past year, we've been working really hard to switch all of our programming to virtual so that we can continue to reach people in our communities. I have been working a little bit with some of the places in the area. I tried to set up a Cooking for One with the Commission on Aging. I'm working with Alcona Elementary School to set up some youth programming in this fall in the next school year. And typically our youth programming would be a curriculum called Show Me Nutrition. We would meet once per week, 45 minutes to an hour on either the teachers like Google Meet, or we could set up a Zoom. And then we would meet virtually to go over information with the students about My Plate, the 5 food groups, nutrients found in different foods. We typically do about a 5-minute physical activity every class, so we can promote being active. And so things like that. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I do in case anyone wanted some more information about nutrition programming with MSU Extension. You can definitely reach out to me. I can put my information in the chat if you would like. So I appreciate and thank you guys for the time so I could speak about that.
Yeah, go ahead and put your info in the chat. Thanks for your,
Okay.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
Thank you.
You better with show and tell. She comes through.
Anybody else want to weigh in for public comment? Remember, you can always do it in the chat if your voice isn't working. And I can see that and use that as well. Okay, hearing none, we're moving on to the presentations. Gretchen Bloom.
Good morning, commissioners. My name is Gretchen Blum, and I have a presentation just that I would like to share. So I will go ahead and do that right now.
Look at that. Somebody who's smarter at this than I am.
I hope everyone can see that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Well, again, like I said, my name is Gretchen Blum, and I really appreciate commissioners the opportunity and the time here to speak with you today. I'm part of the Enbridge Community Outreach Team, and it's really important to us to have open lines of communication. And with that, I'm here as a resource. Should you have any questions or concerns or need more information about our operations in Michigan. I think my purpose here today is really to provide some updates on our recent activity with our Line 5 pipeline and the Great Lakes Tunnel project. So I will cover that, but I thought I would just give you some background on who Enbridge is as a company and what we do. And so with that, I'll just get started with that. So based in Calgary, Enbridge operates the largest and longest and really most complex underground pipeline system in the world. And in 1949 is when we began construction on our very first pipeline in our system. And about 20 years ago, we changed our name from Lakehead Pipeline to Enbridge. But I think some people in the area still kind of consider us as Lakehead Pipeline. So over the past 70 years, we have grown and that's been through various expansions and mergers and have really become a leading energy delivery company in North America. There are about 12,700 employees company-wide, and this map here on this page shows the areas across Canada and the US where we operate. It includes our liquids pipelines, our natural gas lines, our storage facilities, and our green energy assets. And it's the green circles and the purple circles on the map. I'm not sure if you can see that, but that's where our renewable assets are located. And since 2002, I should say, we've committed more than $7.3 billion to renewable energy projects. And then I think just moving closer to home, this slide highlights our assets here in Michigan. And for the purpose of the presentation, I'll just focus on line 5, which is one of Enbridge's 5 liquids pipelines or 5 pipelines in Michigan. And as you may know, line 5 originates in Superior, Wisconsin, and runs 645 miles to Sarnia, Ontario, and it carries light crude and natural gas liquids. It enters Michigan, right around Ironwood and crosses the Straits of Mackinac to connect to the Lower Peninsula. It does not cross through Alcona County, but it does cross through Oscoda to the west. And then it is a combination of a 30 and 20-inch diameter pipeline. And as it travels under the straits, it diverges into 2 20-inch diameter parallel pipelines. Overall, line 5 transports up to 540,000 barrels per day. And it plays a large role in bringing energy to the state. Line 5 specifically provides natural gas liquids to the Plains facility in Rapid River, where propane is stripped off and helps keep the demand up there. It also receives Michigan produced crude oil at our facility near Lewiston. And Line 5 also delivers crude to a terminal in Marysville, Michigan, which has connections to the BPF refinery in Toledo, BP in Toledo, and the Detroit Marathon refinery. Remaining product is then delivered to the 4 refineries across the border into Sarnia, Ontario, and then some of that moves further east to Eastern Canadian markets. Some of the refined products do make their way back to Michigan from Sarnia. And Line 5 does not carry and has never carried crude oil. Or heavy crude oil, I'm sorry. Just wanted to point that out. Line 5 is a major energy asset to Michigan and the Great Lakes region, and it's our focus, to really ensure that we are safely and reliably supplying the energy Michiganders depend on. Michigan tops off other states for propane consumption, with more than 320,000 homes using propane to heat their homes. By our estimates, Line 5 meets about 55% of statewide propane demand and about 65% of the demand in the UP. And I think, recently with the February Arctic blast, I think we were really reminded why the pipeline and the energy it delivers is critically important. Unlike other states, Michigan did not experience energy shortages, and people were able to continue to heat their homes and businesses. And Line 5 also plays an important role in being oil produced and to market. It transports up to 14,000 barrels per day, or nearly 80% of Michigan produced crude oil to area refineries. It also helps ensure stable supplies of crude oil to regional refineries, which really ultimately helps contribute to keeping prices down at the pump. And I think that's very important these days. Not only does Line 5 move products that help fuel cars and trucks and airplanes, but it transports approximately 160,000 barrels per day of NGLs, which are used to develop the technologies and consumer goods that we all rely on. And in 2020, Enbridge provided $1 million in statewide giving and contributions. And so I think with that, we'll look at what Enbridge is doing to ensure reliable and safe operations. So in recent years, Michiganders have voiced their opinions and their concerns about the safety of the Great Lakes. Even here, I think at the county board, there was a resolution passed in 2016 outlining steps that needed to be taken to ensure the waters are protected. Enbridge, is listening, and the Great Lakes are a treasure, and we share Michiganders' commitment to protecting them. Following the Michigan Petroleum Pipeline Task Force report, the Pipeline Safety Advisory Board was created, and Enbridge sat on that board where it was able to actively hear concerns and respond accordingly. In November 2017, an independent alternative analysis was issued, and following that, Enbridge entered an agreement with the state that required immediate safety improvements and increased transparency and oversight for the line. Following the issuance of a risk analysis report and a second safety agreement between Enbridge and the state, in 2018, Enbridge and the state entered into a third agreement and agreed that the best long-term solution protecting the straits is a tunnel under the lake bed that will house a replacement section of Line 5. Enbridge will pay for the design, construction, operation, and maintenance costs all related to the tunnel. And so since 2018, Enbridge has been really working towards making that tunnel a reality. The tunnel will be about 21 feet in diameter, which is large enough just for a small vehicle to travel through and really accommodate maintenance and safety professionals. The tunnel will be precast and concrete lined and have open access. And inside the tunnel, Enbridge will have one 30-inch plug. The tunnel will be scalable and will be able to serve the region as a utility corridor and could house other utility lines. And then just to highlight a few kind of key components of the project here are some images. At the top, it shows a profile of the tunnel across the straits. It's targeted to be about 100 feet below the channel bottom. And then on the lower left is a large 36-foot diameter tunnel boring machine. And this is a machine a similar machine that would be used to bore through the rock to construct the tunnel. And then the image on the bottom right is the precast concrete lining of the Eurasia Tunnel in Turkey. And it provides kind of a good example of what the Line 5 tunnel could be like and demonstrates that, tunnels exist and operate throughout the world safely. And back in April of last year, Enbridge submitted permits to construct the tunnel, which was a major milestone for the project. And since then, we have received permits for the tunnel construction from the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, or EGLE. And we are continuing to work with the Michigan Public Service Commission and Army Corps of Engineers on the remaining permits. And so I think, achieving safe operations really does shape Enbridge's, everyday decisions. And we, again, like I said, share the commitment to protecting Michigan's communities and natural resources. And so therefore, as we continue to pursue the tunnel and work towards that, I think we have taken extra measures to really enhance the safety and protection of the strait. At the Straits, we have Enbridge's Straits Maritime Operations Center, and which is what we call the ESMOC. And there it coordinates an array of marine safety systems in order to prevent an anchor strike on the pipelines. The ESMOC is staffed around the clock, and staff is watching the water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's a patrol boat when the water isn't frozen over that's positioned over the pipelines in the straits, and that boat is there at all times monitoring the line. And then other patrol boats go and monitor shipping traffic and vessels and perform visual inspections of anchor positions. The ESMOC includes a marine monitoring and alert system, which identifies vessels and sends safety messages regarding the no anchor zone around the pipeline. And as needed, it also uses radio to connect vessels and to contact vessels, I should say, and confirm anchor positions. We are also in the process of installing 6 high definition cameras that provide video feeds and also use weather monitoring tools for tracking, severe weather, high wind speeds and wave heights. And if, waves to reach a height of 8 feet or greater for a sustained period of time, Enbridge will idle the pipes. And so, I think Enbridge is taking extraordinary steps to protect the water, and similar controls are operated by government agencies at ports and waterways around the world. But Enbridge, represents sort of a new and unprecedented level of monitoring for a commercial company. Enbridge really remains committed to the safety of its pipelines, and the Federal Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration, or PHMSA, which is Enbridge's safety regulator, reviewed the lines in the fall and found them to be fit for service. Unfortunately, back in the fall, Governor Gretchen Whitmer also announced that she was revoking the Line 5 easement under the straits and would require the line to shut down in May. We, however, remain confident that Line 5 continues to operate safely, and there's no credible basis for terminating the easement. We are in compliance with the easement. So we'll continue to defend the validity of the easement, and we'll continue to operate the pipeline. And in general, I think that, the tunnel project and Line 5 have the support of business, labor, local government leaders and state lawmakers and citizens throughout Michigan. And even in Ohio and across the border in Canada, we have support. There's been 31 counties across Michigan that have passed resolutions of support. And back, I think we saw back in 2016, a number of counties had similar resolutions to Alcona. And, with the steps that Enbridge has taken and the solution that the tunnel offers to really helping to protect the straits, some of those counties have since passed resolutions and support, like Sheboygan, Antrim, and Grand Traverse counties. Also just point out that there's several townships and cities have passed resolutions of support. And so, really from a practical and community and economic perspective, Enbridge is Michigan is important to Enbridge, and I think Enbridge is important to Michigan. And so we remain committed to operating the pipeline safely while delivering the energy to Michigan families and businesses. And I think with that's kind of wraps up my presentation here. And I'm happy to answer any questions now or going forward. I do have my contact here in this slide here for any future questions or information that you need.
Thank you, Gretchen. Any commissioners have any questions? Okay. No. Appreciate your presentation, and do put your contact info up so we can get a hold of you if we need to.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay. Next is presentations. Troy Summers Equalization, 2021 Equalization Report. I don't know what that static is.
I think that's her. Something's got the mic on that don't need it.
Oh, I think that was on her end.
That's Tony. It's got the mic on.
We're getting some interference on this side. Tony, can you turn your mic off?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to mute my thing. Sorry.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Go ahead.
I'll five you the equalization report. Hopefully you went all through it, and it's kind of self-explanatory unless you have questions on it. I already had Adam gonna look at it since he's the chair, so I don't know if there is any questions or on it.
What was the most unusual or the area that surprised you the most on this year's as opposed to prior years?
The one that surprised me the most, believe it or not, that Haas took a good jump. You
In
could see it on in the graph that
overall or in what area?
just in the assessing area.
Okay,
I mean, everything kind of holds like last year. It was like a 1%. 1 point whatever last year. I can't remember exactly what it was, the increase last year. It's on here. But nothing changed a whole lot.
Mhm.
It did go up, as you can tell.
Hmm.
But if you look at, yeah, the Haas jumped up in the assessment. I don't know. The state's having us reclass kind of everything, putting it in two different classes. So when you say residential, there's residential improved and then there's residential vacant. So now you have, it's still all residential, but now the assessors have to class them all vacant or improved, which they're really happy about. So I mean, you're talking Alcona, for instance, has 3,000 parcels, so she has to go through probably 3,000 parcels and change every class on them, so.
Is that stuff that you're bringing into your system that we'll be able to identify
It's in,
when it's uploaded from the assessing?
yeah, well, we already have put in the state gave us what classes they want. I mean, they have till the end of this coming year to get all the classes, so we've already input in ours, because some units have already done it. So we told them that if they change the class, ours is already in there, so it's gonna all fall under residential, but it's just gonna be 401, 402, improved or vacant, so we do have it already in there.
Okay.
So yeah, that, as you can see on the graph there, that Haas did take the biggest jump. The rest of them are pretty close. Alcona took a good jump too, but it's about the same, 1.8, I think it went up to 1.6, but keep in mind the taxable value you still have your July board review and December board review. So keep that in mind, that taxable value will go down. I'm assuming
Down a little
more than
bit.
up. If you have vets exemptions that are still gonna be happening in July and December. I think they did quite a few of them this year at the March, so there won't be a whole lot, but. So otherwise, if there is any questions, you know where I'm at.
All right, Troy, thank you very much. Next up for presentation is Carrie Scott, Building Department, first quarter update.
Carry on. He's up there.
Carrie, can you hear us?
Carrie, turn around. You're up there?
No. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
I do this and nothing happens. Hey. Well, maybe we'll do that.
We need a motion on that.
For speakerphone.
Do we need a motion for the chair to sign the equalization agreement?
Hey, are you gonna chime in on the meeting here? Oh,
Put her on speaker.
here, I'm just gonna put you on speakerphone here.
Oh, okay.
But now you gotta. Now you gotta. Whoa, that didn't go well.
Kind of smoke signal, so
I'm
it'll
guessing
work.
it's 'cause it's-
Yeah, I think you have to turn your, no, since you won't be able to hear. We'll have to just talk on the phone. You have to turn off your speaker. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. You ready? How about now?
Sounds better.
That's way better.
Okay. In front of everyone, you should have a purple folder. I just want to take a few minutes of your time to let you know what's going on in the building department. On the first page, where I'm comparing the 2019 numbers to the 2020 numbers. The 2019 numbers, as you can see, are in yellow. The 2020 is in brown. If you look over to your right, you can see the comparisons between 2020 and 2019. Green is showing that we were up in 2020. The red, of course, is showing we were down in 2020. Even though we were down 78 permits, overall, we were only down $150 compared to 2019. And then if you look to your bottom right, I just want to give you an idea of the construction that's going on in Alcona County. Comparing the numbers, we were actually down 8 permits in new construction. Commercial, we were up 2. Additions, we were up 12. And the roof permits, we were down by 2. Miscellaneous, we were down by 38. And miscellaneous is basically deck, siding, windows, or remodeling. On the second page that I have paperclip to your folder is showing the building department's first quarter. The numbers are in blue for 2020, and the numbers for 2021 are in purple. And if you look to your right, we were all green. So far, for the first quarter, we're up 110 permits compared to 2020, and we're up over $13,000. And then down at the bottom right, as you can see, new construction, we're up by 9 permits. Commercial, we're down by 2. Additions were up by 9. Roofs were up by, additions were up by 2. Roofs were up by 9. And miscellaneous, we are up by 17. So overall, the building department for the first quarter is doing quite well. Contractors are complaining about their building supplies. A lot of the stuff has doubled in many cases, and plus they have to wait months to get supplies. But other than that, we're doing fine. Any questions?
As always, a good report, Carrie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Colors are easy to follow,
I try.
and you do well.
Thanks, Carrie.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Next item. Does anybody have anything they need to add to the agenda today? Okay,
I
good.
don't think so.
Unfinished business, credit card policy, talked about it last meeting. I sent you guys, I gave you guys a copy of it. Carolyn has gotten back to me with some suggestions. I don't know, I'd like to move forward on this and just get it behind us. So Carolyn says under purpose, this purpose is financial procedure. I'm sorry, I didn't have a chance to look at this. I'll just add some quotation marks. I don't know that that's, let's see. Well, Carolyn, why don't you speak to this?
Okay. Let me go make a copy of, do you have a copy of my suggested changes?
Yeah, her. That's the email you sent me.
Copy for, so everybody else has it, because I did not send it. We'll need 3 additional then.
Send to me if I can.
You get to internal controls. Can I make a comment on that, please?
Sure.
Cutting trees down. And do that.
Thank you, Kelly.
Okay. These are mine. I'm one fifth, and I certainly try to always remember that. So having said that, I'll only highlight where under purpose, my suggestion was that it would read, for the purpose of this, quote, financial policy and procedure, end quote. The reason that that's what the title of this is up at the top, and I felt that should be reflected down into the purpose. I wasn't comfortable with the word in the next line, ensure that county issued credit cards are available. I think credit cards are to be used in a physically, somehow to say available, it sounds like, oh, you just ask for one and you get one. And I felt available was not a necessary word in there. Actually, maybe inappropriate.
Hold on a second. Which paragraph is it in?
The next line under
Purpose.
purpose, the next line, ensure
Oh.
that county issued credit cards are to be used is my suggestion, that we delete the word available.
Oh, okay.
Down at the bottom of that same page, the be taxable to the user, that those two lines didn't flow well for me, and I missed the concept on Adam, sorry. Personal use is not allowed. County credit cards cannot be used for expenses which would be taxable. Sometimes you don't have a choice on that. But not limited to the purchase of meal expenses. Usually, if it is a nonprofit credit card, which is the same as our governmental credit card conceptually, most places are pretty good about recognizing that and not charging it. But sometimes you get in a position where you really don't have a choice. And I think that verbiage needs to be modified ever so slightly. If we go up to the next page, the last two lines of the first paragraph, where it reads, the purchased goods and services shall be identified by amounts to be applicable county budgetary line item categories. I felt that sentence wasn't necessary because in the one above it, you talk about documentation in the form of invoices, receipts, etc. So I felt that this last sentence in the first paragraph of the second page was unnecessary. Moving on to the third paragraph, the second line, it reads termination of the applicable term of office holding employment with the county. I think the or could come out. Employment with the county of Alcona or upon request of the board of commissioners or the Alcona County clerk. The person may just move to a different job within the county and no longer need or should have the credit card. I mean, they may not change employment. And they may not have been an elected person to start with. I wasn't sure about the sentence that talks about failure of an official to comply with this credit card policy to subject the official to disciplinary. I felt that may have been covered in other places, but under credit card limits, the titling credit card limits, shall not exceed $5,000 unless approved by an official action. It's unless approved by instance by an official action. I believe the words by instance could be removed and just have it read unless approved by an official action of the Alcona County Board of Commissioners. Moving on to the next paragraph, credit card limits may be modified by action of the Board of Commissioners of the County of Alcona. The authorized limit set by Board of Commissioners on an as-needed basis, but the total of authorized limits for credit cards issued shall not exceed 5% of the total budget for the fiscal year of the County of Alcona. I worked with that a little bit and thought, ooh, 5% of Parks and Rec, for instance, that's not a very big budget. But then I think that what was being intended by this was 5% of the total of all the credit cards that are out, and that would be 5% of the general fund. You'll see, I say 5% of the general fund or the fund the credit card is for. And I think after I wrote that, I went back and looked over this, second time. And so I think we could say credit card limits may be modified by action of Board of Commissioners of the County of Alcona. The authorized limit set by Board of Commissioners as commissioners on as needed basis, but, and then continue, the total of authorized limit for credit cards issued shall not exceed 5% of the total budget of the general fund for the fiscal year of the County of Alcona.
Excuse me, but do we really need that second, after it says the authorized limit set by the Board of Commissioners? Why does it need to say anything about an authorized limit? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, we were saying the
He
credit.
had limits in and I was trying to leave the limits in, but
I mean,
the 5% of the total budget thing kind of,
no, I don't know what it.
Dan, one person.
Yeah, I know.
I
I'm
just-
just saying, I just don't know what it's.
Yeah, I'm confused as well. Well, I think that the line just simply indicates that the board is taking responsibility, stating their personal responsibility not to have credit card potential that exceed 5% of our total budget. It doesn't have to be there. It's just a touchy-feely thing for the public to say we're watching our P's and Q's, but
Yeah,
it can be implied.
I hesitate to say total budget because if you end up including the tax revenues, budgets and all of those, but I felt if we said the total budget of the general fund, that, I mean, you're at $5 million, so you certainly don't need to exceed 5% of that. I can't envision any need for anybody to have anything greater than that collectively.
We could just strike that whole line as far as I'm
Yeah,
concerned.
you play with that as you
I'll
wish.
go along with that.
On the acknowledgement of receipt,
Oh, one second.
oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
No.
Cheryl wanted to weigh in on internal controls.
Just so everyone's clear on what this is saying, what it looks like, and some different interpretations were, the clerk's office is responsible for the accounts payable and the treasurer's responsible for the disbursements. What that means is we're not putting the information in, and what we're doing is what the clerk's office is doing their accounts payable. They are entering that, they're making sure that the budgeted amount for that particular line item is within the parameters of the budget and it not exceeding. And once she does that and creates the warrant, and then it comes to us, to our office, and we sign it and make it good we're making sure the money's in the bank to cover that. And I think that was kind of a misconception on some people's parts, that we are paying out all the money all the time. That's being created by the clerk's office as a warrant. When she's entering it in, she's checking the budget to make sure the budget's good. We're checking the bank to make sure the funds are there and available. I just wanted to clear that up so everybody was on the same page and kind of understood what the process was. Because there's been a little bit of question about that.
Thank you.
No, I agree with that.
Okay, then I went on to the next, obviously we got to modify that date, but in the second paragraph, it would seem to me, I acknowledge receipt of an Alcona County issued credit card, and that was the only thing I had on that page. Going to the last page, number 8, a lost or stolen credit card should be reported immediately by telephone to the credit card company. Then on number 10, and we missed 9, and I noticed that and I forgot to write it down. Again, it goes back to the person may not be retiring or being terminated. And so the second line of number 10, voluntary/involuntary termination or upon request by the clerk's office or the Board of Commissioners. The only thing I would do is to reverse those two, because in the prior one, I put the Board of Commissioners first and the clerk's office second. But those are what I saw I mean, I'm sure everybody else saw some other things or we're happy with it exactly as it was.
I'm okay. The voluntary and involuntary termination part, I think that still applies because you are voluntarily terminating yourself from this position. You may still be employed by Alcona County, but you are going to another position, which does not authorize you access to use for that credit card. So I think that verbiage is okay.
I guess in my nomenclature, termination is,
Termination doesn't have to mean from Alcona County altogether. It can just mean from the position that was authorized to
Okay.
use that credit card.
okay. Then that's
We can leave that.
that can be left.
I'd like to weigh back in on the very first credit card policy statement where you wanted to remove purchased goods shall be identified by amounts applicable to the county budgetary line items. I think that needs to be in there so people know that they have to identify what line item, not only what they have, because in that first sentence, it does not say you have to identify a line item. You're purchasing cups out of office supplies, you're purchasing pencils out of office supplies. It doesn't identify, that's part of your responsibility as having a credit card to identify so that you can go through that bill and say, this is coming out of this line item. Yep, there's enough money there.
Or, yeah.
Valid.
Line item categories up.
Yeah, okay.
That last sentence.
I withdraw any concern on that.
And line item.
Okay, so is it the board's wish that this get edited and we vote on it next meeting, or do we just vote on it now with, I guess the best way is to edit it and vote next meeting,
I don't know.
or just go ahead and,
I think we all agree with the new policy, the updated policy. There's a few minor, some verbiage that needs to be changed and all that. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the credit card policy, pending
Syntax
the,
errors,
pardon?
pending fixing
Yeah.
the syntax errors.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, pending the, what's the right word?
Corrections?
Yeah, the corrections to this policy, and if approved by the chairman, we authorize the chairman to sign.
All right, it's moved. Do I have a second?
You have a second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Then we should probably have a roll call on this one.
Brumman,
No, I'm sorry, I'm not sure of what's being changed, so I'm voting no.
Gothier,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Motion carries.
I'm not opposed to a policy.
With the enactment of this policy, what will be your next step once it's out there? Just so everybody's on the same page. The people that have credit cards,
There's gonna be some changes that have to be made. There's at least one credit card I know of that's got a too high of a limit. And then I say that wrong. I don't want to. It should be, the policy, we need to go through and find out, if we have any dual account, what do I say? Any places that any vendors that we have an internal credit account with, net 30, whatever you want to call it, we shouldn't be making purchases on their credit cards with those vendors. You know what I'm saying? So if people are buying Staples, from Staples, but we have a credit account with Office Depot, why are we doing this dual action stuff? I mean, I can't think of anything that you couldn't get at one place, you can't get at the other. But so number one, we have to go through and figure out what cards are over the limit and get that adjusted or approved, whatever is necessary, by talking to that department head. And number two is just go through and get those duplicates. Is there anything else we need to
the only
attack with that?
would be your policy to reiterate, I know originally when they took out the credit cards, they had something to sign, but now with your new policy,
Yeah, well, yeah,
having them sign and file with the clerk's office.
Yep.
Yeah.
we'll definitely have to have that. Anybody holding the card will have to sign and refile.
If there is a price differential between Staples and Office Depot, how great does that, I mean, do you just totally disregard the one? I'm just looking for what the guidance would be to a department.
Can't they be invoiced?
Well, if I understood correctly, the concept was if we have a source for office supplies, we would use that one source only.
Right, Office Depot.
Well,
No, as far as a credit card is concerned.
Right.
Doesn't say that they can't order from Staples whenever they want and be invoiced. Nobody monitors. You don't get 3 estimates now as it is.
the policy isn't addressing this, but I think we need to try to use the credit cards just in cases where we have to, right? So
Right.
if we have duplicate vendors, or if you want to reach out to Staples and get an account established, a net 30, fine, but that's try to keep the credit cards, because the problem is they started to get a little bit out of control. Okay. And we had an old policy before that didn't really cover all the bases. And this new policy and the way that the county should proceed fiscally and financially is to try to to encourage less use of the credit card if you can.
Late fees, late issues with tax and different things that we've unfortunately paid through these credit card bills and purchases for tax that was disregarded, and also for late fees have been affecting the finances in a negative.
Right. So, but in the spirit of, I understand how you feel about, and why I had to vote, but I will work with you and make sure you know everything as we go. When this new policy gets edited.
That'll be a first if I can know everything, Alex.
What?
You may know more than you think you do,
I know you know more than you.
or that you let on. How's that sound? Okay, let's move on here to question. Do we want to move the closed session after the last public comment?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. The closed session for everybody's is for personnel issues and union situations. Okay, so claims.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the pre-authorized claims and open claims presented for payment between April the 7th, 2021 and April 20th, 2021 for check numbers 143831 to 144045 and e-check numbers 1552 to 1561 for a grand total of $209,489.57.
Do I hear a second?
Support.
Supported. Who's supported? Any questions, comments, issues? Hearing none, roll call.
Paul,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Gothier.
Yes.
Next item, county grants management and reporting. So several of our grants, if not all of the grants that we currently get, receive, and use require quarterly reporting. The first quarter is upon us. For example, I am working with the Brownfield people to make sure that reporting is in. I should have that wrapped up by the end of the week. But there are several others that we can't afford to miss the boat on getting these things in because we don't want to lose these grants. I sent an email Monday. Has anybody had any opportunities to think about what we have for?
The MIDC is on target.
Okay.
The CDBG grant, well, further on, I'm going to be asking for a public hearing at our next meeting for the purposes of closure of that CDBG grant. We're modifying the amount, so we have to have a public hearing to do that. And it should take us all of 3 minutes, probably, maybe 5 or 4,
Okay.
but anyway. And so that, those 2 grants, that's the status on them.
Do we have yet, has anybody been able to compile a list of all the grants that we have yet? Does that exist?
We've
Okay.
been working on it.
I agree. I was just wondering.
But
Okay, well, we keep working towards that. I'm concerned about it. Cheryl has emailed us about 3 weeks ago with the same concerns, and every department head, which I reiterated on Monday, to make sure that we get our bases covered on this stuff, because we don't want to have a scramble last minute. Oh no, we forgot this again, like before. So anything anybody can do to try to streamline this, that would be greatly appreciated. Department heads too, whoever's listening, if you have some grants and things that require reporting, maybe shoot all the commissioners an email with any information. Don't bombard us with the entire everything, but a little brief, this grant title, here's when I have to report for it, or a total, just something so we can compile our list and have a way to track these things. Any other comments or suggestions for that?
grant committee will send out a notice to all senior staff.
That would be fantastic.
I have a question.
Yes.
Cheryl, did you hear back on 282 fund from prosecutor, sheriff, and sheriff only?
Confirmed that that was the amounts that were, confirmed that was the amount that was outstanding, and he has turned in,
Okay,
the
but
report.
prosecutor, you haven't heard
No, I
from,
haven't heard from him or.
or the courts? Okay. So we'll get on that. All right.
Next item, we have a sheriff's department budget amendment. We don't have to vote on it, right? It's just we do. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. You have that up on top?
Yeah, I got it.
Is it in our packet?
Yes.
That
Yeah.
is for, the discretionary fund.
Okay.
that We talked about earlier.
Yeah, Debbie,
This is
I
just
think
the
you got it
reporting
right
one.
here. Yeah, looks like this. And basically, we just need, they have over 11,000 in their fund balance. Basically, we just need to transfer in another $4,000
Oh,
from their fund balance to their line item in the revenue, and then in their expenditure under education and training, we need to add that 4,000.
I would so
back to
move
that.
the fund adjustment for 285 in the amount of 4,000 even, $4,000.
Support.
Moved and seconded. Any further comment? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Gothier,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes,
Thompson.
Yes. While we're talking about amendments, just as an FYI,
No, that one needs
this doesn't need to, okay. Will you describe this for us, please?
The discretionary fund, Fund 238, had some adjustments that needed to be made. I was under the impression that they were made. Looking through, it has not been made. The tire grant, which was a carryover from last year, needs to be amended, increased by $500. And then with the countywide cleanup, being this year, it was oversight that it didn't get budgeted for originally. So I'm suggesting 13,000 be the number of the increase for the 13,500 is the overall increase for the 238 in and out. The revenues would be adding $500 to the tire grant and 13,000 to the countywide cleanup, making the bottom line 18,550 overall. The expenditure would be in the recycle Alcona contract services for the countywide cleanup, increasing that to by the 13,500.
500.
Which would make it a $15,000 expense. The total overall bottom line increase is the 13,500.
to an amount of 18,550.
Correct.
You want a motion on that?
Yeah, we're gonna need a motion.
I would so move that we modify Fund 238 for an increase of $13,500 for a new total of 18,550.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Thank you, Cheryl. Hearing none,
I don't think you've seen that.
roll call, please.
Oh, did you?
Thompson,
Okay.
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Gothier,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Brumman.
Yes,
Okay. Anything else? Let's go into the finance report then.
Okay, we have a couple, we have one bill that needs to be paid, or a couple bills need to be paid. One is from our legal counsel on the ongoing lawsuit regarding the delinquent or the tax, what do you call it? Tax forfeiture fund. In our legal services account, we have $3,007 in there. The bill right now is $33,815. We know we got some more coming in. I mean, this, I've talked to Tom about it. This is through February, and there's still going to be some more bills coming on this. You know, like Tom says, he doesn't even want to call them anymore because the minute he calls them, he gets a charge on it. So I'd like to see that we move 10,000 from our contingency over to the 101-101-801 line item. I think we're just going to do that. I don't know if it needs approval, but just so you guys know about it. And then we have also another bill for.
are you doing a motion on that one now? Or?
Do we need a motion on it or just?
Yeah, because you're moving an activity bottom line.
Okay. All right. So you want to do, okay, so we'll make a motion.
We don't need to do.
I'll make a motion that we transfer $10,000 from our 101-890-999-000 contingency fund over to our 101-101-801-000 legal services.
Support. Moved and seconded. Any other comment? Yeah, we can definitely expect probably more of these bills, so.
Yep.
Putting action in there would just keep us from doing this every 2 weeks. So roll call.
Brady,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes,
We didn't even
Gothier,
talk about this one.
You can talk.
Gothier,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
We don't have to vote.
We don't have to do that. And then also under finance, the finance committee would like to recommend that we submit the application to the Alcona Chamber of Commerce for our Alcona County EDC committee. It's $120. The EDC fund, they have in their budget, they have enough money for that. So we would like to see approval of membership application for $120 for our EDC. And also we had a letter from the Oscoda Savo Chamber of Commerce, and that membership renewal is $60 for our EDC, and we'd like to see that also paid. It would be paid out of the 244 fund with no money. They have money available. So that's a motion. Seconded.
I would like to put a small caveat on it that we hold, I'm fine with both of them, that we hold off on the Ascota one until, and send the check out in June, because it's due in July.
Okay.
So, since I'm sending it to them now.
They're just complicating the process for the clerk.
Yeah.
She's sitting on a bill and.
Yeah, that, well, that's, no, the bill will be approved. The clerk can just hold on the bill to them.
Moved and seconded. I guess roll call.
Brady,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes,
Gothier,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Motion carries. Anything else for finance?
No, we had a meeting today, just trying to catch back up because we haven't had one for a couple weeks. And that we'll be having another one real soon, but that's just basically I have for finance.
All right, personnel.
We have a POLC contract ready for review this afternoon. And also, Ms. Toski said our 4,000 was fine. And we are getting a response from her regarding the EMS grievance a week from Friday.
All right. Treasurer's report.
Finishing up, I had a few issues with the settlement, so we're working on those, getting those taken care of, getting ready for the audit and the new tax season upcoming. I have a credit application from the ambulance service for the Republic First National. Part of it I can fill out, and then I would ask that you sign and return. So I don't have the information. It wasn't provided to me for the majority of this. I can fill out the financial information, but other than that, I
Okay.
would like to turn it over to you for your signature and submission.
Okay.
Other than that, we're working on revenues and expenditures.
Didn't
Yes.
we authorize you to sign that at our last meeting?
Oh, yeah, we did. Well, we,
Yeah, you did.
We
Yeah.
approved
Okay.
it.
yeah, we did.
I don't think she was asking for us to vote on it.
No, but in order for you to sign it, we need to approve that.
To approve the purchase, to go on with the purchase, I
We
don't know,
just didn't authorize him to sign it.
maybe not.
Then I might ask that you do that if that's what needs to be done.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the chair to sign the contract with Republic National for the purchase of
The credit application.
the credit application for the purchase of our new ambulance
Says here. what's
body, huh?
that? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Keep going.
that's it.
All right. I got a motion. Do I have a second?
Support.
Motion and a support to sign the documentation for the ambulance lease. Any further comments, conversation? Hearing none. I guess it's a roll call.
Brumman,
No,
Law,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gothier.
Yes.
Anything else, Cheryl?
Total expenditures up to date, just wanted to kind of give you the heads up, we've had 1.208, 259.75, 1,208,259.75, and our revenues are at 480,000. To give you a perspective on
800.
So
Okay.
600 in the hole right now.
800.
728,046
Yeah.
and 54 cents.
and change.
Change.
Just saying.
Tomorrow will be another 10,000.
I just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up where we were. Any questions? I know we're trying to get everything on track with the 2021 budget. We've been working with the clerk's office and we should have that.
Good to go next week.
Benefit figures set by the end of the month. And then we'll be starting on the audit. They'll be here the 3rd. Everybody get ready.
All right. Clerk's report, please.
I had one communication come in after I sent your email off with your packets yesterday from the Alcona County Republican Party, their agenda. I have that if anybody wants a copy. They're meeting on April 26th. I also have an invoice from Alcona County Review because of all the building closures being extended repeatedly, all the ads, your ads and legal notices is -$4, and I've got a bill to pay. Plus, I believe there's another ad that's going in there, and we're only 4 months into the year, so I think some money needs to be transferred to probably a couple $100, I'm guessing, to cover future ad
Okay, we can do that yesterday.
invoices.
I would ask if all the ones that have anything to do with closure because of COVID or anything, that those be, that we keep track of those. Because we might be able
just out of our grant.
Rescue
so, yeah.
dollars, we might be able to get some of it back.
Do we still have that line item in, commissioners, or the emergency, remember we spent there?
Yeah, I think so.
Can we just pay from out of that? Well,
We'll
we don't
look
have
at
any
it.
money
We'll
in
look
there.
at it.
We'll look at it later.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll look at it. We'll get it taken care of since we get out there.
Yep. Okay, anything else, Stephanie?
Brian?
You have several communications in your packet. Review at your leisure. Committee reports. What do you got, Terry?
Attended a couple township meetings, Curtis and Moore. Missed the veterans meeting because they changed it on me. And mental health, their claim to fame is their finances are very good, they say. Guess there's district health, somewhat the same. Seem to have some extra dough there right now.
Okay. How about you, Dan?
Oh, had last Thursday, another Zoom meeting with Michigan Works. Everything's going there as good as we expected. They've got tons of money, tons of different programs, and they can't get anybody to come in and look for jobs. So it's just an ongoing thing that if somebody comes and looks for a job, it's because they're getting replaced or they're changing a job. It's nobody coming in new looking for work. So they're doing everything they can, but they've received just tons and tons of money. They've got money in all different kinds of areas for grants and trying to do everything they can to get that out to the public. Had Zoom meeting with NEMSCA. Again, everything's going great there. They've been receiving tons of money. They're doing excellent job in everything they can with winterization and all the stuff that they do, but it's another organization that has just got lots of money and trying to, they're getting a lot of people with the subsidies of rent and late mortgage payments and all that. They're able to help a lot of people, but it's another organization that's just receiving lots and lots of money. And then Adam and I met, I don't know if you're gonna say anything about the EMS. You want me to?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and Adam and I met with EMS last week and heard just an update on our community medicine program.
Paramedicine, yeah.
Paramedicine program. That thing's really working well. Them guys are doing everything they can with it right now, and that's a program that's definitely going to grow, and they're doing a good job with it. Well, we'll be hearing a lot more about that, but they just gave us kind of a overview update of what's happened in the last few months and where they're looking to go. And,
That was interesting. They're reaching out to several hospitals and local clinics to do follow-ups to prevent emergency room visits. You know, oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good program. So
and they're working with insurance companies to try to get them so there's money is available when they do follow-ups and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things. They're doing a good job. That was it for me.
okay. Well, that was what I was going to hit on. So that's good. I don't have anything much else to talk about.
I'm sorry, did I take it away?
No, I don't need any thunder. I didn't bring any thunder. How about you, Bill?
We got a correspondence from Harrisville Township Supervisor, which I gave you all copies of, and we'll be discussing that in the future that we got it. Went to the Fair Board meeting last night, and they're again moving forward with plans, and the same in the county cleanup is it's got 6 townships already have donated their allotment. So that's not bad. It's about the normal. So we'll see if the other ones come through. They're just moving forward on things, slow at a time, because we don't know if we're going to be shut down or not, but we're planning on not being. And so that's about what I've got.
Carolyn.
I've been working with Bill Pavela, the CDBG gentleman that I've been working with. As indicated, and I sent you all and sent to Stephanie a request for a ad to be placed in the paper for a public hearing at our next meeting. Because we didn't utilize the exact dollars that were provided, we had a public hearing to open it because we've changed, we have to have a public hearing to modify that. Um, Bill and I met a couple times with the chamber representatives, and they have paid their full amount of dues for the 2020 for the Harbortown space. Been working with the MIDC update requirements for Standard 5. Our administrator is on it, and I feel comfortable that will all go through. Also have been in contact with Barb Kolmansky, the regional manager for that program. LAPC, we've received the Tier 2 reports from Frontier Communications, from Harrisville Harbor of Refuge, and from Riverside Energy with locations at Comstock Hills, Lost Liquids Club, Hubbard Lake, and Caledonia. The hazard mitigation plan is moving forward, although Christine McEmber, who was with NIMCOG, is no longer there, and it's been turned over to another individual at NIMCOG. LPT meeting requesting extension of funding for the ATV. They can't get one. Like so many things like building supplies and so on, they are just unavailable. But they are asking for extension of the funding. It originally was supposed to have been spent by the end of May, and they feel, Melissa feels relatively sure that the state will extend, but it's not a given yet. Northeast Michigan 211, we've adopted a slightly modified leadership model. We are in the process of eliminating the operations manager, and instead we'll have two focus points, database quality and a contact quality. Had phone conference with Drain Commission manager and the chairman of CLIB regarding some water loss, some potential water loss at the north end of the new dam for Cedar Lake. Primary things.
Okay.
Before you go to comment, did you want to do your
We'll make a
equalization
motion on
signature?
that. Yeah,
You need a signature, I think. Don't you?
I'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion to sign the equalization report.
Oh, yeah.
Stephanie. Terry's making a motion that authorize the chair to sign the equalization report.
Yeah, thanks, Terry.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any further comment? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Were you gonna do this minutes for the other meeting, that special meeting, or is that next one? Next week?
Approve the minutes for the special meeting we had.
Oh, I didn't make it on here, did it? Yeah, we'll do that too.
Oh, yeah.
I got a motion for Terry to approve the minutes from the special meeting last Wednesday.
Support.
Moved and supported. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Nice catch, Terry.
Good catch.
No.
We'll go in closed session.
All right, let's do our last public comment, and then we'll go into closed session.
I'd like 5 minutes to check my email before we.
Okay, do we have any public comment at the end of the meeting here? There's none in the room. How about on the World Wide Web? I sound like an old guy when I say that. I say that ironically, maybe. Okay, I don't hear any, so we'll take a 5-minute recess and then go into closed session.
why we're here. I didn't want it on, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
So-
that's why in the meeting, it's mute, you could mute, but I mean, there's really no reason. And my off or putting that in something live. Like this.
Settings, advanced settings. Go back to settings. And I went to advanced
Yeah.
settings.
On Earth.
I know I found it in here once before.
So you probably found it, disabled it.
Yeah, I shut it off,
That's why it's not working.
but I said it twice in front of that.
Now you gotta find it. Yeah. You do that, and then it'll. Well, so much for that.
Okay, so, let's meet since we're here.
Yeah.
First thing, you've read this, did I send you a copy of this, Chris?
Yeah. Did you get, this was in the one email. Are you in it or did you?
When did you send it?
It's in,
Sorry.
But yeah, basically. Well, you wanna
Is
write
that-
up a resolution in support of this,
Yeah, I
or
would-
however,
I
and
would-
then we'll
As a committee, we'll put it together.
have a quick meeting with next step, I don't know.
Gretchen Plum. I think it's on the sheet. Yeah,
Blum,
Gretchen
B-L-U-M.
Blum.
So, okay. Don't vaccine, they can't take
Who
the
wear
mask
masks
because
or
of
the
it.
flu shot, 'cause my sister-in-law in Florida, they can't fire her because she's not allowed to do it. They have to take the flu shot. She has to wear a mask.
Yep.
Is there a flu season anymore? I haven't heard of anybody with flu. Everybody's posting they got the COVID.
Well, I'm,
Yeah.
Got killed the flu.
this for.
This is Sue's bill.
Yep.
Yes,
So we want to support it.
yes.
So that's basically, yep, yep. Yeah, it's basically saying that no
Are you
employer,
for that?
this is basically saying that no employer can force you to get a vaccine. And if you don't get it, they can't force you to wear a mask because of it.
So is that something you would back with? No, I just want to make, I want to make sure.
I didn't post the bill, but I posted her
Yeah.
in that regular group
Yep.
that we had.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I didn't look up the bill. So I usually try to do that.
Yeah, but this is what she was talking about when she came to town, and she told us that she was doing this. And like, you know, it includes not just the COVID, but the flu vaccine and the Tdap one too.
And the flu shot. Or did you say the flu shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I don't want to do it. I never got it this year. I had flu shot. The shots I looked at for free.
yeah,
But as far as the COVID
I don't know.
thing, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They hadn't done enough time to really test. Come out.
I don't think any of them, but I don't think the flu shot really does anything either. But
Well, you know, the problem is some of these things are developed embryos. People would have religious
yes, yeah.
objections.
Well, you know, for whatever reason you don't want to get a medication or a vaccine, you shouldn't have to do it. I mean, I don't care what it is. You know, if, you know, it's kind of like when somebody's got cancer and they say, I don't want to take the chemo, I don't want to take treatment. They have a right to that.
Okay.
And nobody should force that upon them. You know?
I
anything going?
Gary.
Hey, Gary. We're back in session. Is there something you wanted to comment? I see you got a hand raised on your icon here.
He did, but you know what?
And we're on. I gave up.
We'll get back with you next.
I might be trying to talk. I see this little blue. No, that's us.
Yeah, that's all.
I don't know if you're having a technical difficulty there or.
Yeah, we were.
Go to closed session.
Good enough.
Oh,
So you have to chat?
oh, no, I see.
He's not doing the chat either. All right, Gary, I'm sorry. I don't know what the issues here are.
Ask him to call him.
I don't know. You don't know the phone number for this line?
No.
But call me after the meeting and we'll work it out and get it fixed. All right. I apologize. All right. You got a motion to go into closed?
Yes, and not yours.
I make a motion to go in closed session.
Seconded.
Support. Move supported for closed session.
Who made the motion?
Dan.
Dan, and Terry, you supported.
Yes.
Roll call, please. Terry,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Adam,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Drummond, yes.
Okay, we're back in regular session. Carolyn, would you like to make a
I would
motion?
move to approve the POLC contract pending clarification of one item. I don't want to identify.
Uh-huh.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Small.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Gothier.
Yes.
Brady.
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
Who was the second? I'm sorry.
Bill.
Any commissioners' additional comments and concerns?
We can hold on this one.
We're not addressing that right now.
Okay.
We just got it yesterday.
I got mine today, this morning.
Hearing none. Meeting adjourned to the next regular meeting on May 5th, 2021, 1:30 PM.